morning class. So today we're going to be talking about infographics. Infographics are representations of visual data and information and that aims to show complicated information in a fast and clear way. So today we're going to be covering how infographics influence learning, what makes an effective infographic, and the future of infographics. Now let's get started.
Are we seriously going over this? Why is this all necessary?
You know what? That's a good question. You all know that my job is to teach every single one of you, but I have to know how to adapt my teaching style to meet your individual needs. So an infographic takes the most common way of learning, which is visually, and presents carefully selected information in a way that a teacher would. So it's easy to understand. Then, when I narrate over an infographic, it covers an auditory learner's needs. After all, you may learn differently than the person next to you. Combining different teaching styles allows me to reach a wider audience. In fact, Edgar Dale, a distinguished educator in the early 20th century, said that people remember 50% of what they see and hear. I show a graphic and audibly present so my students have a higher chance of remembering. Infographics that we use in the media like textbooks, presentations, websites, and posters give instructions a fun and unique way to present information. The ability that students get from being able to interpret the meaning and information presented is an image that is called visual literacy. This skill is greatly improved with the use of infographics and is becoming extremely vital in today's world. Graphics have actually been around since the beginning of civilization and have come a long way. For example, back in 1878, Joseph Sylvester coined the term graph to show and represent the relationship between chemical bonds and mathematical properties. Then the term infographics became widely used in the 1960s as a way to describe the images used to present complex information in a simpler manner. Today, they are used to present vital information to new generations during the age of the internet. Social media is also another major influence on the infographics and their popularity. Our short attention spans have made us want information to be readily absorbable. Like, for example, hey, what app are you using during my lecture?
Instagram.
Why do you use Instagram?
Because the pictures I see are really pretty and I get quick updates on whom I follow.
Exactly. We like using social media because we can easily share and obtain information, but more specifically, we like to see it. On apps like this and on the internet in general, we also have to be careful with who we are getting our information from. How do marketing specialists or scientists get correct information out that is easily digestible and appeals to a larger audience? Through infographics. We can take really complex ideas, like some in biology, that we can't see and give them a tangible form. So even kids in elementary school can understand a topic like photosynthesis. Now, answer me honestly, how would you want your information presented to you about photosynthesis? Would you rather read a big text of information, or would you rather have an infographic break down the process?
Well, an infographic, because the images make it easier for us to grasp the idea. It's not really easy to see the microscopic process of photosynthesis happen in front of us.
See, it's exactly that reason that infographics are vital in learning. Another positive effect of infographics is that it's a big influence on memory retention. A study done in Turkey showed that students who were given infographics to learn had higher scores on tests given months after learning the subject than students who weren't given infographics. With that being said, on their influence on learning, you can see why infographics are important. Do you guys have any questions?
How do I make my infographics go viral?
You should share your infographics as much as possible to make them go viral on social media. However, this is not totally reliable. Only effective infographics go viral.
Well, how do you even begin to write effective infographics?
So, before even making infographics, one should seek their audience group, learn from them, and observe them. It will be helpful for one to find the purpose and objective of their infographics. This is what audience analysis is for, and it is important because then you would know their level of understanding and their expectations, which will help you visualize the information needed.
We should put together tons of images and make the infographics larger.
Of course, that will make infographic much effective, I guess.
Making infographics larger does not necessarily make it more effective. An ideal size will maintain audience attention and make the infographic look visually appealing too.
So to make it visually appealing, can I use a lot of colors to make it beautiful and grab people's attention?
In infographics, one must limit the color palette to only a few colors so that they complement each other well throughout the sections.
Yeah, I think too many colors will make it look like a cartoon and not many people will take it seriously.
Yeah, I agree. What about sections? Is it necessary to have sections in infographic?
Infographics are like a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you should divide it into sections according to the information you have gathered. There are many components to work on to make an infographic effective, and one of them is simplicity, which deals with consistency. It means to be consistent on the use of fonts, images, graphics, icons, so that they maintain the flow between sections.
Is this style also a component of making an effective infographic?
Yes, it is. Style in infographics is kind of like the things we already spoke about, like visual appeal, having sections, and managing information.
So what roles do statistics and research articles have towards an effective infographic?
They help by making information presented up to date through infographics.
Can I then go over all of the internet to get relatable facts and data for my infographic?
One of the things that ensures that your infographic will be effective is by using reliable sources. If you use reliable sources, then it will help the infographic establish credibility.
You said something about the purpose and objective of an infographic. What do you mean by that?
In general, it is important to have a purpose and objective when creating infographics.
Can you just list a few of those components that make an effective infographic so we can note that for the future?
Sure, key components are story, style, simplicity, size, source, statistics, and shareability. Technology is continuing to evolve and expand, and most of the information we get today is online. So how will infographics continue to develop and evolve as time goes on? Now, let's talk about the future of infographics. First, let's look at a case study that was performed where infographics are looked at in an educational environment. The study was conducted by student teachers who were asked to create and vote on infographics that would represent the past, present, and future.
Television was voted as infographics of the past, while online classes were voted as for the present.
Yeah, and holograms were voted most likely infographics for the future. That's so cool.
It definitely would be cool. This study was important because it shows that infographics will just continue to develop and evolve over time. Who knows what the future of infographics will be like? Now, let's look at one more study that analyzed articles produced on infographics in education. The study concluded that more studies are being performed on student success and learning related to infographics. Therefore, there is a positive increase in the use of infographics in education. Let's take a look at the book Infographics, The Power of Visual Thinking. So the last chapter of this book discusses the future of infographics. The author of the book explains that there are two major ways that infographics could evolve in the future. And these are democratized access to creation tools and socially generative visuals.
What does that even mean?
Well, the author explains that automation tools could help correct when human error is made in infographics.
What is the importance of that?
The book explains that socially generative visuals allows its learners to add their own content and answer survey questions. Then the learner could see their interactive content as well as compare their results with others. Here's an example of a socially generative visual that the book gives. Would y'all be more interested in learning from an infographic if it was interactive?
It would be more fun and interesting to learn if you were able to interact with infographic rather than just sitting and reading or listening to it.
So infographics are only going to continue to evolve and improve the way we receive information. In conclusion, infographics are a fun and visual way to learn new information.